Greetings. I think this is a good time to talk about this painting as I wait for some food because, or it's like 10 minutes till my food is ready and then I gotta go pick it up. So it's like, it's just a great time because I'm like, oh shit, now I gotta do something. And it's like, cause I know if I eat some food, I'll be sleepy, I'll get sleepy. So I get in these like ebbs and flows, that I'm just like, sleepy after the food. And then I'm like, what am I doing again? What am I doing? I forgot what I was doing. So what I was gonna do is I was gonna talk about this painting behind me, okay? Okay, and this is non-UV. I'm sorry, there's no UV light on right now. This has a lot of UV in it, okay? There's a lot of UV stuff in it. Right now, this is just a two lights that are just color lights that are on it right now. So, just to explain what it is. So this painting was inspired by scrap. So I believe we were working on a movie at American High. We're working on, it might have been something like, it must have been Big Time Adolescent movie because we had to make three paintings for the Everson Gallery that were just going to be hung there. That in the script they talk about that it's just some abstract shit that looks like penises or something. But to make for the script to make those pieces, we had to stretch 4 by 8 foot canvases. Maybe one was like 10, 10 by 10 or something like this. Or no, it was like 8 by 8. 6 by 6, something like that. Very large canvases, basically. I think, but the scraps, because again, when you buy sticks, I think the sticks I was using were like 10 foot sticks or 8 foot sticks. But when you chop them, you have scraps, right? So one thing is, also this is a painting I want to give his sister. It's almost done. So Tom, this is a painting of Tom that I started a while back. Let's see, where is he at? There he is. There he is. So I wonder if it was, I think it's gonna mirror image it. If I do it like this, I think it mirror images it. And so what does Tom have to do with all of this? Or I guess, music, I guess, of course. But it's more so the canvas, okay? So the shape of this canvas, what got me to start stretching canvas that was shaped odd? Or square, rectangular, right? So my favorite canvas shapes were 4 by 8 foot, or like a rectangular, 2 by 1 ratio, sort of. But then came this idea that, hey, if I change the angle, if I change the angle of my cuts, right? If I change this angle right here, where they meet, then I can use scrap canvas that I have, like bigger pieces of scrap canvas. Like even though I have little pieces of sticks, if I cut that angle differently than 90 degree, 45, whatever, I can be able to make it a bigger shape, So I have another one that's like 12, 13 sides or something. I don't know, it's not a specific polygon shape, but there was another piece that was between this one. So there was that small one right there. Okay. There's a big polygon shape. Adding another side to it, I was like, okay, 5, 6. Then I was like, okay, 7. I was like, ooh, 8, right? But then when I got I was like, okay, if I do 3 foot sticks at this angle, that'll be the octagon, right? But then as I built it, I was like, wait, fuck, shit. I forgot that it's 8, not 6 sides, because I forgot how to count or something. So I thought it was going to be like 6 feet tall. It turned out to be 7 foot 6 inches. So this foot right here, right? This piece right here it's 7 foot and 6 inch diameter. Okay, that happens to be the modular size of the door diagonal. So the maximum size of diagonal, like that you could fit something diagonally through a door frame, happens to be the dimension of this, and that was an axle. So the actual birth of the piece was inspired by scrap, like what to do with scrap pieces of scrap. So, and I was like, oh shit, I realized if I change the angle of the scrap piece, I can use bigger pieces of scrap canvas. So it was like, oh, cool, kind of a cool realization. And then after doing one piece and then making a different piece, and then I'm like, okay, then I actually made a mistake. I thought that, I was like, fuck, once I built this, I was like, shit, it's gonna be so big, I'm never gonna fit it through the door, I'm gonna have to take it apart. But then when I just fucking wiggled it, I just pushed it, I was like, ah! It was back at American High, it wiggled out of the room, I was like, no way. It was crazy, it was like one of those weird mistakes where you're like, holy shit. It still fits. It was totally fine. It was totally cool, So part to whole relationships, the way that like making use of scrap. It's all powerful. Like how many things did we make using the like leftover pieces from the other films? Like there's and that's I think that's part of the kind of the ebb and flow of the creative process. And it's nice. It's nice. I think like looking at it from different kind of. I was lucky enough to have a classroom in a building where films were being made all around us, and it was not that strict. It was not very strict at all, So like because I had one of the biggest classrooms in the building too, so to choose that room, I thought I picked it because the sun was in the window, and I thought, hey, if they would have to film at night and use synthetic lighting, so I was like, okay, I figured it'll be the last room that they would likely pick. They ended up shooting in there maybe the following year after I left though. So I left because Hulu moved in, and then it got a little strict. You know, it over. They ended up keeping the door open or something, and then it just started looking kind of unprofessional. So. Yeah, so then they slowly were like, yo, you got to get out of here. So I was like, okay. And I was actually, during the time I had this classroom, I had a curfew because I was on drug court. I was on a curfew, I had some other shit going on, and I was like, so I was kind of like, I had to like leave the building, but then I was like, cool, I had no more curfew. I was like, shit, now I get to stay up late and make art. So, and then, yeah, then I ended up moving into the, so the Schmear Craftery. The Schmear Craftery. That's a whole different story for something else. The Schmear Craftery. That'd be for a different day. So I have some cool floor tiles that I tiled there that transitioned from American High's VCT tiles that I got from Paul. Thank you, Paul, again for all the cool gifts, all the trinkets, and letting me know when things are being thrown out, like back in the day. Because like there's tables that I crafted, so many cool things that, you know, it's only in hindsight that you realize what scrap is, what is trash, what is anything, right? It's like, hey, this thing's about to get thrown out. Do you want it? Yeah, because like that might be like some top to a table or something. Maybe you have 4 legs already. I don't know. It depends. Like that's the thing about hoarding. What is hoarding? And like sometimes you only keep something because it's cool, and then you have a plan for it, but then, yeah, you know, maybe you don't have a space for it. So eventually you got to get rid of shit. So, or every space has its like maximum space of stuff. Like for example, the space of this wall, right? This whole wall space that I can do stuff with, right? Or the length of this room. So, and that's the thing about American High. They have a huge gym. They had 2 giant gyms, and I was like, you know, in the perfect world, it'd be cool to do a big painting there sometime. That's like the whole length of the gym, like, which is like 100. I mean, how big is a gym? Gymnasiums are so big, you know? So I think that capacity wise for like art, actual art, that building is just like, it's just getting like you haven't actually seen the capacity of such a space to be used for art. So I think like, you know, I mean, they put like set design into a gym, which is cool because they blacked it out, part of it, to make it like a sound stage. I mean, I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know. I forgot what it looks like in there. So, but it would be cool to do some like interactive, cool festival show in there, you know? And and the other thing is I was talking about a lot of copper. Like I was talking about this thing in this other video. And basically, the thing is that at American High, there came a point where we removed some kind of towers off the top, like the front of the building, and we replaced them with these like fake shift kind of, or like these like faux towers, basically. It was for a movie script, and it worked. But then the city got pissed, I think. So, but disregard that stuff. There's more copper in the building, and why I want to get it is not just to like, I don't want to sell it. It's not the point. The copper is going to get expensive anyway. But the point is that if you want to make a phoenix, if you want to build a bird, like a cool bird, like an eagle phoenix bird, I think here's a bird. See, here's a bird. Yeah, so if we want to build a bird, we could build it using the copper from inside the building, where Paul told me where there is a lot of copper. So, you know, I could go in there with some gremlins of mine, some of my friends, would go get this copper out, right? Flatten out, make some sheets of copper, chop it up, and then, well, first we'll design a bird for you, okay? We'll design a bird. And if you guys like it, then we'll build it up using that copper. So I think that'd be super cool. So it'll be my way of saying thank you for letting me use the classroom, you know, because you know, I mean, I remember doing a trade. There was a painting that I had, which was Gridline's album art painting, which is now at Umbra. So that inner album art painting, I remember Jeremy liked it, the owner of American High, he liked it and he took it. But then maybe he didn't like it, or maybe he wonders where it is now. But I ended up putting it it's at the bar now. It's at like, because the people that made that album, Gridline, I'll tag it in here. The name of it. Bitter. Wait, was it not Bitter? That's where they played. But I mean, yeah. I'll tag. But the Gridline bass band was it was an amazing CD. So but anyhow, is that whether he's curious where that painting is? I mean, it's out there and about, and you know, there's like that was originally, I think we traded that painting for me to use the classroom to be able to make stuff, but then. You know, I mean, I was there much longer. I mean, we got to use the basement to build a Bronco. I mean, I built the Bronco there. That later was in, what is it called? Plain Clothes movie. Like it just, I think it's in theaters now. But like, but that's why I felt, I was like, fuck yeah, I'd loan the car because it was built there. We kind of built it in there. I mean, obviously it was my money with the tools and the car and the material stuff, but I didn't have a place to weld. So that was cool. We ended up breaking their fuses, having to flip the fuses a bunch because like that shit was improper as fuck. But hey, I mean, we got the shit done. I mean, I got the whole interior done with that car. A bunch of shit built in that car. But so I would have posted it and documented that whole process, but it was illegal to work in there. So, you know, like to do that in there, they weren't certified as an auto mechanics shop, you know, so hopefully I'm not like making them in trouble right now. But it's all in the past, so I don't think we'd get in trouble for things like that, you know. I think there's like a time scale on stuff like that. So yeah. So yeah, much love to the humans that helped me create these. Oh, because the funniest thing is, okay, so came a point where my own supposed parents, okay, they showed up at my studio at American High, and they looked at this piece, and they go, "This is the brightest work you've ever made. This is the most colorful, brightest work you've ever made, my son." That's what they said. Okay. But I mean, I grew up making work in their house. I don't know. I guess supposedly American High is a brighter place than their own household. I suppose. I don't know. Maybe spiritually. I mean, maybe, or maybe just maybe there's a limit to how much art we can make in our parents' basements or their upper floors and whatever. So but there's maybe there's a limit to everything like that. So. But yeah, it came a point where how did I get that classroom? It was not just like, hey, I need a place. I need this classroom, It was because I was working in my parents' basement at the time, supposed parents' basement, and there was a mold growing on the table and I was working on paper. I was like, I got to get this shit the fuck out of here. So, and then that's the thing. Like, I didn't care where I was bringing it. I was just like, yo, I got to get this shit out of the basement, So, because I myself was just freshly out of detox. So I went to detox for a week, and then I was like, oh, cool. What am I going to do now? And then my friend called me, yo, there's movies to make. Let's go make some movies. I was like, okay, cool. So, and then after that, actually it was when Nikolai was called from New York City, my father, supposed father, to be like, hey, come work with American High. So I think he has trouble realizing that I was at American High before he even got there. So what is it? I think Looks That Kill movie. That's, yeah. I got in at the butt end of that film. We were like mixing sawdust with shit, throwing it at the seams of the cave. I don't know if you guys remember that. Butler was on there. David Butler was on that one. Yeah, he had charge. I mean, we had like 20 people just helping out because there was so much stuff to do. There's so much stuff to do. There was just like, and I think what the designer left or something. Because that's the thing. That was my first project that I was on. So I was like, oh, wow, what is this all about, So we were using the soundstage at the time, which is kind of cool. So... yeah, and I think part of it is part of it is see, I have this huge printer, so I'm very familiar with art, like in the design room, like whether it's like the printing stuff or designing stuff. Like I could do digital stuff, so I think that created a little bit of like the hierarchy where like Soviet fathering, is like. I guess it's like you can't, like, a kid can't really teach his adult. They're just incapable of learning. So like also taking orders from kids. Like I think adults they have trouble taking they can only be above. They can't really be at equal levels with people. They can only like give you orders. So that's kind of what I've learned. So because so in that sense, do I really want to join like the office and be maybe like a designer, art director or something? Maybe on a different project sometime. That'd be cool. I think I like the whole. The scenic role is fun. At least gets the armies busy. I don't know if I could do both. I know that's the thing. I think what I'm more curious about is getting in touch with a lawyer. I should go pick up my food now though. But getting in touch with a lawyer about what is a movie and how to define a movie and why. Like, for the tax return, right? Like, so yeah. So, that would be the logical reason, right?